Picture this. You're sitting alone in your room, and you're staring at the ceiling in absolute silence. Now, unless you just enjoy being in that silence, you probably need something to listen to while you stare at that ceiling. That's where I come in. I'm here to give you only the finest of songs and bands to listen to. Hopefully, you'll enjoy all these recommendations as much as I do, and you'll find something new and exciting from this video. I'm only going to be listing one song each from 12 bands here, but I'll leave a Spotify playlist in the description if you want to hear more of my music taste. Now, I know how short our attention spans are, so I'll go ahead and start with... Of the emo bands from the 2000s that either didn't slowly fade out of relevancy or become problematic, Paramore has really taken my world by storm and proven themselves as a consistently incredible band. Led by Hayley Williams, hair dye enthusiast, and David Byrne fangirl, Paramore has managed to move from genre to genre effortlessly, making some incredible albums as a result. Their 2017 release, After Laughter, is an 80s new wave inspired effort that has some of Paramore's catchiest hooks and most depressing lyrics. This album really demonstrated how when you just make good music, you can change your sound as much as you'd like, and there will always be fans waiting to listen. This is really inspiring to me, which is why it's one of my favorite albums by them. If you're looking for a more classic emo pop-punk sound, for sure go with their third album, Brand New Eyes. Tensions were rising in the band, all eyes were on them, and yet under the pressure, they created a masterclass in emo. Catchy songs, driving guitars, powerful and emotional vocals, they put the whole 9 yards into this album. The quieter moments on this thing hit like an emotional bullet train as well. These albums are great. But I'm going to recommend their song This Is Why from their latest record of the same name. Despite their lineup endlessly changing and the drama that comes with that, Paramore has stuck around and have become one of my favorite groups. Listen to This Is Why, and if you like what you hear, listen to After Laughter and Brand New Eyes. And This Is Why the album too, that was pretty good. Are you a depressed lesbian whose music taste consists solely of Elliott Smith and Phoebe Bridgers? If so, you're going to love boygenius, a supergroup consisting of Mother Lucy Dacus, Short King Julian Baker, and Coffee Time Phoebe Bridgers, the best member. They have come together to make one of the best albums of 2023, in my opinion. Heartfelt lyricism painting a perfect picture of what it's like to be a young queer person in today's age. A variety of songs that will either make you dance or make you bawl your eyes out. What is there not to like in this project? The main appeal of boygenius is the trio of singer-songwriters leading the group, and it's not hard to see why. The voices complement each other so freaking well, it's unreal. And when they harmonize, chef's kiss. Even live, they're at the top of their games. They are paving the way for new queer artists, not only through boygenius, but through each of their solo careers as well. Phoebe especially shines just as brightly with her solo work as she does in boygenius. I consider her 2020 record Punisher to be in my top 5 favorite albums ever, so that's how you know she's great. Lucy has some great albums too, and Julian's album Sprained Ankle consistently makes me want to cry. Perfect for late contemplative nights. What more do I need to say? Just listen to boygenius and listen to Phoebe, Lucy, and Julian. I recommend their song Satanist. It's a grunge-influenced anthem for the youths, and it's awesome. Maybe don't play this one in front of your grandma though.
What is that?
Okay, listen. Matty Healy is a public figure, that is for sure. I'm trying my best to justify this band being in this list and separating the art that is the 1975 music from the problematic Healy artist. This band has wiggled their way into my heart to the point that I have listened through almost every album, except for the needlessly long ones. I'm looking at you, notes. When it wants to be, the 1975's music can be absolutely breathtaking and innovative and aware of the times and just good. I can't lie when I say their most recent release, Being Funny in a Foreign Language, is my favorite. It has infectious hooks around every corner, it's produced by Jack Antonoff, and it's a 1975 classic. Happiness, Oh Caroline, I'm in Love with You. If you played these songs to me for the first time without even hearing the Rat's voice, I would immediately know it's the 1975. Or I might get it confused with the Bleachers album, but that might just be the fact that it's produced by Jack Antonoff. That's why I recommend you start here and work your way back through their discography. Ignore whatever troubling thing Matty just said or did, and just appreciate the musical powerhouse that is this band. In a perfect world, the 1975 would be fronted by anyone else, and Matty could just take Timothy Chalamet's place or something. All of this aside, the 1975 are an amazing pop group that has made some amazing songs. Listen to Happiness.
Tell me now, for this rap shit, but selling out. Ooh,
Okay, completely pivoting genres. Why didn't younger me get into this man when he was still alive? I recently looked into Mac Miller's music, and I am so glad that I did. He somehow got better and better with every release since the start of his career. From Kids all the way to Swimming, his sound has matured and changed to adapt to the current landscape. It's such a tragedy that we won't get to hear new music from him again. In case you don't know, Mac Miller was a rapper, producer, and icon from Pittsburgh. His rapping style is so unique to him, you can instantly tell it's him within seconds of hearing his voice. His verses had gone from describing being a high school senior and graduating and learning to be a young adult, to grappling with being famous and looking back at that high school kid in introspection. Mac is just great. He always has great production. Listening to him is a no-brainer. I recommend his song What's the Use from Swimming. It has bass contributions from Thundercat, it's groovy, it's Mac. Also, his song Don't Mind If I Do samples Fireflies by Owl City for some reason, and I think that's that is so weird and funny. Listen to that one too for the memes.
A tornado flew around my room before you.
The fan base for Frank Ocean is absolutely rabid, constantly speculating when we'll hear anything new from this man, which only goes to show how great his tunes are. His tunes. I'll keep that in, that's funny. There's something for everyone with Frank's music. Like R&B and alternative hip-hop, listen to his mixtape Nostalgia Ultra and his debut Channel Orange. Like laid-back and experimental songs more? Listen to his sophomore record Blonde. If you haven't gotten to this dude's music yet, what are you doing? He has one of the most angelic voices I've ever heard and has amazing production to back it up. A main thread tying these bands/artists together is that their sound is distinctly them. You'll know a 1975 song, you'll know a Mac song, and you'll know a Frank song when you hear it. In addition to that, Frank just has an amazing eye for telling stories in his songs. Monks and Ivy are good examples. Choosing a song to recommend is really difficult for this artist, because he has so many great songs. There are virtually no stinkers in his catalog. For that reason, I'm gonna choose two. Sweet Life from Channel Orange, and Solo from Blonde. Get into Frank Ocean now, you have no choice in the matter. To kind of give you a good idea of what this band is like, I'm gonna play you two snippets from the same song.
Last night I go to Harper's Fair and I thought about you. There was.
Did you notice the differences between the two snippets? Did you immediately question if those were both from the same song? Here, I'll play some more snippets. They're both technically the same song, but they're different in a different way. The first one of those is from 2011, and the other is from 2018. Did you notice the DIY bedroom production in the first? The clean, punchy studio production of the second? This here is why Car Seat Headrest is so inspiring to me, and why you should listen to them. The project was started by Will Toledo, with only a laptop, a microphone, and a dream. He created 12 albums from 2010 to 2014, which is already insane on its own, but some of them are actually pretty good. Twin Fantasy 2011 version, indie rock masterpiece. How to Leave Town, indie-tronica masterpiece. After he got signed to Matador Records, he brought in Andrew Katz, Ethan Ives, and Seth Dalby on drums, guitar, and bass respectively. They then released Teens of Style and Teens of Denial, the latter being my second favorite Car Seat Headrest album ever, probably. But what's my number one favorite album? I'll tell you, the 2018 reimagining and reworking of 2011's Twin Fantasy. The production is immaculate, and every song is made 100 times better thanks to this. No hate to bedroom production people. Studio production just hits different. Twin Fantasy from 2011 was so ambitious that Will couldn't fully capture all that he wanted to. Until 2018, where we took 8 months to just get the drums sounding the way he wanted. So much care went into 2018's Twin Fantasy, and it shows. Seeing an album go from a silly little indie project to a fully realized behemoth of a concept record, it gives me hope that maybe one day I can do that too. I recommend the song Bodies, but I'm also going to put their song Beach Life and Death in the playlist too. It is 13 whole minutes of heaven. You're gonna love it. The front bottoms are weird in the best way possible. A duo consisting of guitarist and singer Brian Sella and Golden Retriever drummer Matthew Uhich, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Their sound is folky pop-punk with acoustic guitars and trumpets and a whiny vocal delivery. You'd think the vocals would be a turnoff, but I really like them. They feel earnest. Their debut self-titled record has been in my life through a lot. It has always been an album that I can go to when I'm bummed out and just jam to. Their albums after self-titled are still pretty good, but nothing compares to the artistry and authenticity presented on their debut. I recommend the song Flashlight. The opening guitar chords will never get old to me.
And that's when we'll explode.
The Postal Service is/was the side project of lead singer of Death Cab for Cutie, Ben Gibbard, and Jimmy Tamborello of some band. They are electronic synth pop baked in sweet nostalgia and warmth. Despite only releasing one record in 2003, it still holds up incredibly well more than 20 years later. The beats on Give Up have influenced a lot of my older work, and even some of my songs to this day. They're creative and not dated by EDM beat drops. It's great. Their lyrics are simple, yes, but they complement the songs rather than make them worse. If you're looking for a great electronic record to sink your teeth into, listen to Give Up. However, for the playlist, I'll recommend their song Clark Gable. This one's for the hopeless romantics and film nerds.
What if I told you that the world...
Mike Kroll's music sounds like a teen coming-of-age movie made by the teens themselves and directed by Jack Black, and I love it. It is loud, abrasive rock with pop hooks and DIY production. In just a 1 or 2 minute song, it will absolutely melt your face off. This especially shines in his album I Hate Jazz. There's a reason why his most popular songs on Spotify are almost solely from that record. Songs like Grade School Love and 17 Age come and go as fast as possible. If you blink, you'll miss them. You get what you get with Mike Kroll, basically. And in turn, you get some heartfelt lyrics about just being a kid, set to some objectively badly produced instrumentals. That's half the fun though, it's like a cute little grab bag of disjointed but earnest songs. I recommend 15 Minutes. It definitely deserves the title of his most popular song. I got into this band because a YouTuber named Nate is Lame, and I give him all of the credit for getting me into them. Their Spotify page is kind of a joke. I think it's shared by multiple bands who have the name The Dogs, which is why there are albums dating back to 1973. The only album that matters right now is Camping from 2011. There's barely any info for the band that made this album other than their drummer being James Krechevnia of Big Thief. That's cool, but what makes this Dogs album so great? Let me tell you. Impressive production. A variety of smorgasbord of instruments ranging from ukuleles to bells to horns to electric guitars to synths. There is something for everyone on this record. A variety of songs too, ranging from anthemic indie rock to experimental ambient electronica. The amount of clever ideas on this album is insane, and it blows me away with every listen. You need to listen to the Dogs. Not the Hot Dog Dogs or Candy Dogs, the Camping Dogs. Listen to We Don't Have to Do Anything. It's one of the best openers for an album I've ever heard. It was also I think it was my top song, or in my top 5 songs on my Spotify Wrapped this past year, so that's how you know it's good. On the topic of small bands, let's talk about that YouTuber Nate's band, Raccoon Tour. I've been a fan of this band for almost 3 years now, and it has been a treat seeing this band grow and become something really cool. They're an indie pop punk group, led by the ukulele playing and screaming Nate Burr. As they put it,
You think 21 Pilots meets My Chemical Romance meets Cave Town. If that comparison makes your stomach turn and stomach acid crop your throat with contempt, you'd probably enjoy our song Denton Weaver.
they only have one album out, The Denton Weaver from 2021, but quality definitely outshines quantity in this case. Each song is so well thought out and executed. You can tell this album went through hell and back to even get made. The end product is spectacular, a journey through youth and love and breakups and death and so many things. You should listen to Horror Show. I have good memories of learning on ukulele and playing it while walking around the streets of my hometown. I say that like I've moved out. I still live here. It sucks. This last band I can guarantee you've never heard before. Unless you live in or near Nashville and are an active participant in the music scene there, or you're friends with one of the members, you've likely never heard of Safer Dead. They consist of some of the most attractive people I've ever seen, and they're great musicians and people as well. They only have one single out, Under Your Tongue, but there is already so much here. It sounds like The Strokes and Arctic Monkeys, early Arctic Monkeys by the way, and Franz Ferdinand, and I'm so here for it. There is of course some great original sounds brewing here as well. You are so lucky if you're able to join the fan base for this band while it's still small, because I genuinely believe they won't be a small band for long. Listen to Under Your Tongue and support some awesome musicians. You won't regret it. Plus my friend Henry is in it, and he's awesome, so I already know Safer Dead is awesome too. Surprise! You should listen to my music too, I think it's pretty neat. Your Local Ghost is my solo project, and I've released 4 albums, an EP, and some singles as of the making of this video. It's indie rock and pop and electronica, all wrapped up in some nice DIY production done solely on my phone. My latest album, There's No Signal in This Part of Town, is my favorite that I've made. Not just because it's the newest one, but also just because I think I'm genuinely making some good songs. Better ones than I've ever made before. Okay, all this shameless self-promotion aside, it would mean a lot if you guys supported my music and listened to my new record. You should listen to If You Want To from it. It's one of my favorites. Well, you are no longer staring in silence, and you are now equipped with my all-over-the-place music taste. If you like this video, there's a couple more you can click on the screen right now. They're on this side or this side. I forgot which side they're on. Also, please consider liking the video and subscribing. It's the easiest way to support me and the channel, and you get to join the Cool Subs Club. I just made that up right now. Cool Subs Club. This has been your local ghost. Have a great day/night, and I'll see you later. Go listen to these bands now. Go listen to them. Right there. Playlist in the description.